Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another episode of While I Was Out. And while I was out, I came across the Red Table Talk. Jada, Gammy, and Willow had Olivia Jade, Giuliani, Aunt Becky's daughter. You know Aunt Becky? Aunt Becky from Full House. She and some other people, were in a whole little admissions fraud scheme scandal. They were, bribing, paying money to whomever under the table so that their daughters could go to these Ivy League schools that they were not qualified to be at. And Olivia is a YouTuber and she has all of these followers. She's an influencer. And since all of this has gone down, her mother and father are, serving their time. I think they serving like 90 days. They serving their little sentence. And she's lost endorsements, things of that nature. This clip that I saw of Gammy, my friend sent it to me. Gammy wasn't here for Olivia using their platform for her redemption story. And I will say, before watching the whole entire episode, before watching the Red Table, and seeing that clip of Gammy, I was already on Gammy's side. I was already like, I understand that, I feel that, I'm with you. Her sentiments are essentially, you, the white girl, you thought that it was, necessary to call 3 black women, for your redemption story, to give you a platform for you to do whatever it is you're trying to do. And Gammy wasn't here for it. Gammy felt like it was her white privilege alone. Her white privilege was showing just by the fact that she's there. Just by the fact that she's sitting her ass there, like she said. The fact that her ass is going to be sitting right here is white privilege enough. Jada doesn't agree. I don't think she disagrees with her mother, but Jada. Jada is one of those, we're going to transcend everything. She's one of those kind of black women. I'm inclusive. It's like, it's one thing. She's on some compassion. I'm never gonna treat them the way that they've treated us. Okay. Nobody is saying mistreat people. Nobody is saying go out your way to be petty and rude or whatever. Nobody's saying none of that. But when the white lady called because she wanted to tell her story, what you should have said was, we decline. We respectfully decline. Because, girl, call somebody else. Call CNN. Or whoever else you can call. Like, I don't know. Call, what's the lady name? Is her name Lisa? She's on CNN, like she does all of the exciting stories. Like she goes over there to Africa and she goes like in the trenches. She's that kind of journalist. I cannot think of her last name. I don't want to say Wu because I feel like that's not it. Anyway, Lean? Is it Lean? I can't think of it. But she could have called her. She could have called Anderson. Anybody but Jada, Gammy, and Willow. No. See, that white privilege stuff worked on Jada. It ain't gonna work on Gammy. It don't work on me either. Like, you're never gonna use your white privilege on my black ass. So no. But anyway, Gammy, didn't see it for her being there. Like she said, she fought tooth and nail. And I don't blame her. When we got into the episode, however, I started to change my mind a little bit. And only about Olivia. She's not necessarily that girl that, her parents has done something, illegal, whatever. And it's really her parents doing, and her parents that utilize their privilege for, their gain. Her being in, the position that she's the child in this position, she was probably not privy to a lot. But hearing her side of it, okay, it's like, okay, I can cut her some slack. I can cut her just this much slack. She still could have called somebody else, but I'm gonna cut her some slack because she's not all bad. You know, she's aware that she has white privilege. Although she said initially she wasn't aware, she didn't know, she didn't feel like the way that they lived their life, like she was privileged, you know, like that was just the normal for her. And I understand that. Like I'm sure Willow and Jaden, you know, have been in situations, and Jada has said this, you know, where it takes them, like sometimes they get beat over the head with, you know, don't forget you still black. You still black. You know, like you might have a little privilege, but you still black. You know, so that it only goes but so far for them. But for Aunt Becky's, you know, daughter, a white girl, you know, I'm sure she's oblivious to the fact that she has privilege. Everybody around her has privilege. You know, so what does this privilege look like? You know, like what does that look like? They don't know, because all they know is trust funds and, you know, rich mothers and fathers, and everything is paid off for you. Everything is laid out for you. You know, like that's privilege. She's understanding now after everything, I'm sure, because people have been letting her have it, I'm sure. Because not only is it a thing about, you know, people are in prison for way less. People have gotten in trouble for way less. People of color, that is. And we don't get redemption stories. We don't get to apologize. We don't get to tell our side of the story or anything like that. The lady that sent her children to another, and see, I knew people like that all throughout school. I went to school with this girl who didn't live in my neighborhood. Her cousin lived in our neighborhood. She didn't, but she caught the bus over there with us. She rode the bus with us. Like, she went to school with us. And for a stint, I think she went to school in her district, but she was right back with us. And it was because, you know, her parents were using her family's, her cousin's address. Had her mama got caught, they would have sent her mama to jail, like they did that other lady. And that's just a woman, a mother trying to give her child, you know, the best foot forward. And they sent her to jail for that. Where is her redemption story? Where is the white woman on the TV with a platform? Where is she? Where is she to give this black woman a platform for, you know, her to explain how things went down or to tell her side of the story? Where's the white woman saying, this is so-and-so, this is Keisha Jenkins, and she was just trying to give her baby a better life, and we want to give her a platform to talk about just what was going on. She's misunderstood. Where is the white woman uplifting the black woman when she's torn down, or when she makes a mistake that lands her in prison or whatever, a mistake that was made? And I wouldn't even say it's a mistake. It is not a mistake. When you are putting your children's, you know, best interests at the forefront of your brain, that's not a mistake at all. That's what we should be doing. It just so happens that crap is illegal. Like, who cares if I don't live over here? Why can't I go to school over here? If my cousin go to school over here, why can't I go to school? It's a public school. I can see this kind of stuff, these kind of rules for private schools. But for public school, like, y'all halfway giving an education anyway. So why you, please? I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. But that is really Gammy's whole perspective. It's like, girl, where's the black girl's redemption story? Not only that, Gammy was like, listen, I hear you saying all of this. I hear you saying you apologize and you're so remorseful and you get it now. You understand and you're willing to learn more. But girl, we got so much going on in the world. Can you just understand why I just don't see it for you? Like, can you get why I just don't see it? Why I don't care? I just don't care. Because my people are going through a lot, have gone through a lot, still going through a lot. My people, as in, you know, the people of color, black people. And we got enough going on in the world I don't really care about the fact that you lost endorsements or that you, lost a few subscribers from your YouTube channel. Girl, don't nobody care. You gonna be all right. You gonna be okay. And Jada, we just assume she gonna be all right, Jada. She gonna be all right. Now I'm gonna need for Jada to sometimes Jada don't be wanting to pick a stance, and I don't like that. You can stand by the fact that this is all some BS and she shouldn't have called y'all. And you can also, empathize a little bit with the girl and the fact that she's just ignorant. She's just, ignorant to the fact that she ain't really conscious like that. That's okay. But we're not going to sit here and act like the girl isn't privileged. She doesn't use her white privilege. We're not going to act like her mama and daddy didn't use their white privilege. We're not going to act like they just, perpetuating some BS that keeps everybody else down and keeps them at the top. So we got a lot going on. We got classism going on. We got systemic racism going on. All of that, and they're fine perpetuating it when you pay your children to get into school, get in an institution that the black girl had to work hard to get into. And she might not even get in because she black. That's the point. The little girl get it now. And I ain't gonna call her a little girl because she's like 20, 21. But she's learning. She's learning. And I'm gonna give her that. I can say that I appreciate the fact that she's not, because she said initially, she was like, why is everybody mad? Why is everybody upset with me? Like, what do you mean? I'm not using any white privilege. At first she was going to play that game. And now you can't play that game because these days we calling it out. And that's just that. Like, you're not going to sit up in my face and say, you're not aware of your privilege. Gammy was checking her left and right on that. It's like Gammy wasn't trying to hear that. Gammy, I don't want to hear you didn't know. I don't want to hear, you were oblivious and, that's just not how you were raised and you just don't understand. I don't want to hear that. Especially after now. She's like, man, please. All this mess going on TV, you see it. You see what's going on in the news. You see all of that. At some point, at 20, 21 years old, it's your responsibility to turn on the TV or pick up a book, read an article. It's your responsibility to do that so that you are aware. And because the excuse, I didn't know about my white privilege. Don't nobody want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Especially if I got a cousin that couldn't get into Yale or couldn't get into Harvard because your mama done already paid to get you in. So now you done took the spot from somebody that worked hard. She says she worked hard too. She say that, it's not like she wasn't a good student and she did work hard. And, she didn't know about all of this under the table stuff. She thought that they had got in cahoots with an admissions counselor that was on the up and up. But any parent getting in cahoots with an admissions counselor, you need to be leery of that because they're not even there for that. They there to help you, get in there and get your foot in the door and, they fill you in on, what you need, what you're going to need, all that type of stuff. But as far as like my mama and my daddy really calling up my admissions counselor, had they just been really calling him up, I'd have been like, what? Like, the extent of his job is to get me, in the door. Helping me with the application. That sort of thing. Not, I'm paying him under the table to make sure your test scores just slide and skate on through. They don't even look at the test scores. That's why we're paying him. That's why we're friends with him. That sort of thing. No. She should have known already. But again, like she say, I'm gonna give her that she's ignorant to it because a lot of white people are very ignorant to the fact that they have white privilege just because they're white. And it has nothing to do with money or none of that. You are white. Like what does this man say? You got the complexion for the protection. You gonna be all right, girl. You gonna be okay. She really didn't even need to go on nobody's show. She really didn't need to. She would have been fine. This would have blown over. I mean, it's essentially she wants her endorsements back. And you know how that is. A PR stunt is always get in front of it. It's always a PR stunt when the person just comes back out of nowhere, and now you apologizing, and now you on an apology tour. Now you doing interviews and all this, that, and the third. Yeah, you want your endorsements back. You trying to show these folks, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. See, like I did an interview with these 3 black women. I let them check me. I let them read me down. Well, Gammy, that is. Gammy was not. And not to say she was checking her, reading her. Gammy was just stopping her at every turn. Like, nope, you're not using that excuse. Nope, I'm going to stop you there. Nope, you're not going to use that one either. That was Gammy. And I was right here with it. But Olivia will be fine. She'll be okay. Her mother and father both will be fine. Everybody's going to get work again. Like, they're going to be fine. They're not black. Like, I don't even see why she worried. Girl, don't even worry about that endorsement that you lost or them few subscribers that you might have lost. They'll be back. They'll be back. You'll win them over again. The people don't stay mad with clear people at all. Like, they don't stay mad with y'all long for nothing. Like, well, I was going to bring up OJ and the fact that the white people are still mad at OJ, but OJ did it. So OJ did that. So, I mean, stay mad at OJ. But Michael Vick, for instance, like, they still mad with him. They are still mad with Mike. Still. To this day. And I don't think that's going away either. They just going to be always giving it to him. Like, always. They don't see it for Mike. Where's Mike's redemption story? Mike just trying to make a little something on the side. We're not even going to get into that. All in all, I think that everybody left with, I guess everybody left the situation feeling better than they did going in. And that was obvious. It was obvious that she was very, anxious and not really, and uneasy about, what to expect. Once she settled in and, the conversation started happening, I think that she got a little bit more comfortable and opened up a little bit more. I think that she's genuinely sorry. I think that she genuinely wants change. She talked about giving back. All of this is easier said than done, but I really do hope the girl, gives back. Go to an, underprivileged school and do something. Help somebody get to school. Since, y'all got it like that. Pay for some folk to really go. People who are working hard, who have the grades, who have met the criteria, but maybe not, they might not have the funds. Help them out. Do that, sis. Do that. That's all I got for this episode while I was out. That alone was enough for me because it brought me to chorus. If you didn't watch it, go ahead and check it out. It is, on their Facebook page or whatever. It's the episode with Olivia Jade. Giuliani. I really don't know how to pronounce her last name, and so that I don't mispronounce it, we just gonna call her Olivia Jade. I'm thinking that's the stage name, or that's the name, her YouTube name or something like that. But anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.